Tuesday evening, uh, the day after I got home from Endor. Technically, I got home this morning, about 1:30ish or so. Slept for a couple hours, went to work. I just really wanted to do a video a little sooner, so I wasn't distracted and diluted by a bunch of other thoughts. But you know what? Before we go browsing into stuff, we're going to start with the interesting things first. Get our bags unpacked, and then we're going to talk for a minute. I thought about doing two separate videos, but it all kind of has to happen at once, I think, to really kind of culminate everything together. So if you're just clicking on this video, this might be a longie, because I don't do shorty videos generally speaking. So I'm going to go through. I took my clothes out, all my dirty laundry and stuff, but I left all the rest of the blasters and all the stuff I picked up at FoamCon in the suitcase, and so I'm just going to kind of unpack, kind of show you what I got and talk about stuff, and then kind of recap the overall experience. So we'll just start here, and I guess for starters, I still have magazines and magazines and magazines and magazines. Let's just say I didn't use that many. Okay, so here we got, I'll start off this. This is a limited edition, so I was told, Detroit Dart Talk t-shirt featuring the fancy logo and the faces of the hosts, and I was actually able to have them autographed. So I've got Tom, Tim, Connor, and shoot, Aaron. I feel so bad right now. I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, man. I talked to you. We hung out for a little bit. Just Tim. I'm really sorry. Anyway, it's a remarkably comfortable t-shirt. But yeah, I sported that around a little bit and was digging that. Hey, but okay, come here. Come on. Just jump over. Don't just sit there whining. Come on. Don't be pathetic. You're going to be in the way, though. Get your behind out of the camera. Okay, so got my vest here. Took all the gear and everything off, but that way, put that away. That way Lucy's not naked anymore. Hi, I miss you too. Ladder for backpack. Dump pouch. You're really right in the way. You're just right in the way. Paperwork. Sling. You'll notice the board behind me is very bland because most of my stuff, the cool stuff worth showing off, went with me. So I got Jackal. If you went to FoamCon, you would have seen that. And I think it went. I don't know. I'll put them up later. This yet unnamed but yet very old build that I thought I'd just bring, and then maybe if somebody was liked it enough, they would offer money at it. Didn't really get a chance to show it off because it I only had like half a table, and so this kind of sat around. But anyway, so it's still here. If you remember from the very first video I did, I think I talked about this. If not the first, one of the first, earliest ones anyway. I seem to have acquired an orange rival round. Mag holder from Loadout. Another mag holder. Loose darts that I apparently didn't dump out. Safety glasses dump pouch that I picked up from Containment Crew, which is like the other one that I put in the was it the Chronos loadout? Yeah, that's the same dump pouch that I used for the Chronos loadout that holds the speed loader is really good. Picked up another one just so that I could have it free, so that I don't have to worry about trying to take it off the Chronos loadout all the time. I got oh, rats. Oh, rats again. Rats, rats, rats. Okay, I've got Yellow Jacket, which broke a little bit, just the hot glue bonds and stuff. So not a huge deal, but not great either. Got the Strife Long Shot crossbolt integration that's for a client. Just brought it along as well, just to kind of show off some of the very early stages of integration work. More loose darts and things. Got Warthog, and it's with his fancy new front end and stuff. Fired it a little bit. The depressing thing is one of the motors either burned out or a wire broke off or something. So I tried using it, and it just only one wheel was moving. So I'm actually surprised it got as good a power as it got, only using one wheel. But so I've got to open it back up and see what the deal is with that, which might be a good opportunity to investigate either rival motors or some of those aftermarket 360, 380 giant motors, because this thing would be pretty hot to trot with gargantuan motors. So that's that might happen. Ziploc bag, mag holders. Oh, that fell off of that guy. It's just the grip for that guy. Got Devil's Hand, which was my indoor primary that I used very briefly while it lasted. But then it was actually used by Thomas of Containment Crew. He was heading out, and I was not heading out, and he said something about, I would play, but I don't have anything to use right now. And I said, you know what, let me set you up. So he actually used this quite a bit for mission 3 or 4, I can't remember. Used it quite a bit, he said, and it worked very well, so I'm glad for him, because I was able to shoot a dart before I got tagged the first day. Yeah, anyway. Remember when I said that I might get tagged out really quick? Did. So, okay. Then I got other junk. I actually need that though. Okay. Okay, that's all of the boring one with blasters in it. Got the Containment Crew bag that actually has other stuff in it. Oh, let's just empty it out. Got an ammo counter bag, but I apparently dumped that one out. Got my Inwar bandana. There we go. There's the ammo counter stuff, darts, and a little brochure flyer thing talking about his new Mark IV product, which looks very nice. Containment Crew has their little newslettery thing. They did it last year as well. I didn't bother to check. Let's find out. Okay, it is the zombie hunting permit and some stickers, which are always great, and a little flyer thing that talks about different Nerf groups across the country for people who show up and say, hey, maybe there's you know, just kind of as a, you know, here are some groups that do cool things, and, you know, check out stuff in your area. Ah, yes, I got a forward-facing Talon adapter that actually came with the extended hybrid type pusher, but I actually just wanted it for the Magwell adapter so I can run the Milan Devil's Nerf Works hybrid pusher, because it's actually already in another Strife. I can't remember which one though. So I wanted to be able to use Talons with it. So I got that guy. And speak of the devil, puns. Okay. Actually got some motor covers and battery doors. These are the windowed covers and actually windowed battery doors for Strifes. And I got a blue set and a orange set that does both sides. And these are, I think one's a 132, one's a 180 cover. I'll have to see for sure, but then it has the flywheel side as well. And these are very nice. I haven't done that video yet. The blaster I made for my wife, which actually will be coming out of that suitcase in a minute, has a set of these molded in, and they look just divine. Highly recommend. Good quality prints and everything. This actually, okay. These will make sense in a minute. I'll talk about these in a minute. Okay, so, and also, in this bag technically, I have some pieces of some games. Zambona, who I was sharing a table with, was selling darts and sock bombs, things like that, but he's also selling Nerf War in a can, which I thought was really cool. He had like kitty litter reusable bucket things with a sealable lid, but it was a kit that you could buy, and it had a couple small blasters, and it had props and instructions for different types of games. Well, they didn't sell, and he didn't have room to haul them back, and so I didn't have room for the tubs that they came in, and so he just said, hey, here's some of the props. He's got a chess timer that's colored for doing King of the Hill type, so you have like your red team, blue team timers, which is super neat. I'd actually thought about that before, but I didn't know enough about chess to know if that would actually work for the purpose. So he apparently tested it out, and that apparently works, so I'll probably be looking into introducing this into some of our backyard wars. Thank you. And also, these two stakes are red and blue for like capture the flag type thing. They're very small scale, but they're also made for, good heavens, man, please, more backyard type games and stuff like that. So it was more for the ability to have everything you need in a single little bucket, which is actually a really cute and clever idea. And I thought it was a shame that nobody bought them, but at the same time, I knew I couldn't haul them. Other people looked at them, but it's a rather large box. It'd be great for like a local deal or something. But anyway, really, really cool idea. So props to him for a really good idea. Second suitcase. Okay, actually not going to talk about that because that's a secret. So shh. You'll find out eventually. Gosh. Okay. I actually forgot to. Well, let's hold on to that. Here, we got more secrets. Okay, so here are. Okay, this is the territories. I guess King of the Hill type. I guess is that how it works? Yeah. Instruction book that went with the timer. Shh. Can you not, please, right now? Can you just wait a minute? Just wait a minute, please. Okay, this is cool. This is actually a really cool thing. For one thing, this is my vendor and war bandana. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. Yeah, like that. Weird, mine must have got beat up because it's got holes in it. How'd that happen? Anyway, so I could put it with my other one. This is a Maverick given to me by the gang over at the Raleigh Youth Nerf Club. This was kind of a thank you thing. And the Maverick is actually an interesting story. Last year after Ragnarok, my wife and I were on our anniversary in the same trip. We went to Disneyland, and we were just sitting down for the fireworks. We just got a position, staked out, and I got a message from the Raleigh Youth Nerf Club, and he said, "Hey, I've got these stripes that we had modified, but the people did a terrible job, and the wires are melting, and they're smoking, and they're dangerous. Can you help us out?" And I said, "Man, I'm over in Idaho. You're in North Carolina. You're in the Carolinas anyway, other coast." I said, "Man, just the shipping alone to get them over here for me to fix and then back would kill everybody." And so I said, "Okay, tell you what I'll do. I'll see what I can find for you a little more local." And so I reached out to a few places, and it was actually Michelle and Addie of Foam Blast who said, "Hey, we're going to be over in Atlanta for such and such event in a couple weeks. If you can wait that long," she said, "we'll just pick them up somewhere. Have them shipped a lot closer, and we'll just knock them all out, and we'll see if we can get some help, and we'll just do it all at once." And so that was actually where she went, and it was at Drax's house or Bobo's, I don't know, but Drax and Bobo showed up, and they just hammered out good grief, there were like a dozen of those things, a bunch of stripes. Just went through and rewired them, and we're actually able to do a better job with better parts, quicker and cheaper than I would have been able to. And so he got a lot better setup overall, but he was grateful to me for helping out anyway. And so he said, hey, the kids want to get you something to kind of say thanks for getting them set up, because I guess they're really kind of devastated when they spent the money to get these stripes and get the stripes all built up, and then they finally get them after a long wait and find out that they're garbage and can't be used. So he approached me at FoamCon. He said, hey, I got something for you. And it was this Maverick that's been had all the trim shape, or the badges and stuff shaved off, and has kind of a nice sci-fi theme, kind of a dark, kind of a metallic and a little bit of gunmetal and some kind of bronzy gold color and little red accents and stuff. And I'll hold that up kind of close for you guys, and probably get a couple shots as well to put in there that I can hang up. Just kind of a thank you present. I really appreciate it, and it actually works pretty good. I was playing with it in the hotel after the event, and for a Maverick, it's got a little pop. And so I'm going to hang it up with my original Mavericks that I bought. My original Mavericks that got me into the hobby, and next to my Gear Up and Whiteout and stuff. So it'll be kind of in my little Maverick section up there. So I'll have to hang that up after while I'm putting everything away. I bought a Hurricane finally with some wheels. Neglected to buy a cage, but I think I can print a cage. I was skeptical of this, like a lot of other people when they first came out. You're just right in the way. But man, there's some cool stuff you can do with them. And so I thought, they're here. I'll just pick one up. Got this from Foam Blast, I believe. You're just right in the way. Your nose is just right in the way. Excuse me. Another ammo counter bag. I was given one by hand, and then another one just showed up on my table, so I ended up with two. So I got some more darts. You like that? I bought a knife from Clowny. I saw these posts he was putting up on, I think he put it on Facebook, but I know it was on Instagram. But he's making these little foam kind of throwing knives. I don't know if they're intended to be practical for using like melee type stuff, but I always like Clowny stuff. Clowny's such a dang good guy, and just does cool stuff. I've got that little sculpted foam Cthulhu head thing, so maybe I'll put it up there on the shelf with that next to my Clowny box. They're pretty cool. But yeah, pretty cool. I mean, it's using he used a textured floor mat kind of stuff, like an anti-fatigue mat, I think. But he used the texture for the grip, and then just sanded down past the texture to get the rest of the metal tang and everything, all through the rest of it. And so it's just a really kind of a clever way to do that. Yeah, just a nice little deal. So that's pretty cool. I was wanting to get a bigger one, but I had to save my money. So, but hopefully that helped him out a little bit. Got one of these little light up dudes from Silver Fox that I haven't opened yet, because I want to be able to appreciate its little glowy flickery things. It's got LEDs in it, and I think that's just really cool. Very unexpected. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be unexpected. I mean, it's a long foam thing from a Nerf guy, so I guess that works. So pretty cool. I'll play with that sometime. This looks like just humdrum run-of-the-mill PVC, but this is actually Aussie spec metric PVC. I can't remember what the dimension is, but Dr. Chris of Melbourne area, rolls around with the MTB boys, set me up with this. He just said, hey, have some PVC, and I said, this is your wacky Aussie metric PVC that fits everything in the world, and he says, yes. It's apparently for Rival, and I don't know if what it would do for Mega, but it's apparently it's like that fine line between like thin wall 3/4 inch PVC is too big for Rival rounds. They just roll through past super easy, but then thick wall is just too snug. So this is supposed to be like happy medium. That I wonder if I could use this for speed loaders, or for his purpose was for rebarreling, and he used this for a hopper on his titanium. So yeah, got some Aussie spec PVC to play with, which is super cool and very unexpected from him. So thank you very much. As well as a gutted Infinis from him. that he just said, "I've got something for you," and I said, "Okay, cool. What you got?" And he hands me this, and I said, "Well, what's wrong with it?" And he says, "I just needed the pusher, and I have no use for the rest of it." And so I said, "Man, I appreciate it. I'll turn it into something," which is cool because I have. Where the heck did it go? I have the Infinus that I traded from Zambona, and I've been kind of eyeballing a few things about the shell, but I haven't had the guts to cut it up because it's a nice looking blaster overall. But now I have just a bare shell, and apparently pieces of the reloading mechanism that I can play with. So that'll open up some doors for something else. So thanks again, Chris, for the potential. Oh, he also brought me some Tim Tams, because Tim Tams are really good. If you've never had Tim Tams, they're like a Australian thing, and they're kind of like got a wafery deal and chocolate, and they're just really, really good. They're like unreasonably good. Like, he gave me some at Endor last year, and I think I saved one for my wife, but the rest of the bag was toast. And she's like, "Did you save any more?" And I said, "No, I just couldn't handle it." Anyway, Tim Tams, really good. So thanks again for that. This is the Desolator that I ran last year, and I brought this just as backup, like I said, in case Devil's Hand didn't qualify. So I had it for backup. Hammer shot and narrow base holster from the game for my gear. Two extra magazines or cylinder magazines. Dart thingies for the Hurricane, just because, might as well while I'm at it. Got this blaster core. This is blaster core. I was actually a design consultant for the version 2 blaster core. Jonathan approached me and said, "Hey, we have a big box that is ugly, but it works good. But you like to make things that are pretty. Can you help us make our box pretty?" And I said, "Well, I can see what I can do." And so I didn't design it. I had nothing to do with the design. I was more of a consultant as far as like what are some ideas. And so I was the one that suggested they go with a horizontal setup so that you can run it on Springer blasters without the flywheel sticking up higher and kind of screwing up the lines. Figuring that more often than not you're going to see blasters from the side, so it's nice to have a nice silhouette this away. So I went through and was eyeballing it and talking to them about it and how it turned out. And they said, "Oh, hey, cool, thanks for helping us out on the design, so go ahead and take one." So I grabbed one, and I appreciate it. And these pieces earlier were rails for the bottom. But wait, there's more. I have a second one, because I won the Blaster Core raffle. I had to buy some patches from them, some Naptown patches and some other things, and when you bought a patch, you got an entry into their drawing for this Evader that has the stock and the barrel's around here somewhere. There we go. Got the magazine, and it's supposed to fit this dude and barrel. I was actually, I didn't even think about the drawing. I didn't even pay attention to what the drawing was for. I just bought my patches and signed the little fill-out thing, figuring what the heck. And it wasn't until the very end of FoamCon, and I was actually hanging over by the Flywheel of the World booth talking to Adrian, and Jonathan taps me on the shoulder and holds this up and says, "Oh, by the way, you won this." And I said, "Good heavens, what is it?" And he says, "It's another Blaster Core." So I've got another Blaster Core, and I've got an Evader, which I've been wanting anyway. And I didn't even think anything of it. I was focused on because that was right at the end, and I was focused on getting my gear all grouped up and getting everything packed up so we could get out. It wasn't until I got back to the hotel that I realized it's got a reinforcement for a Recon, the Sonic Clear Recon stock. It's got these reinforcement pieces, which I thought was cool. But then realized there's an XT60 inside the blaster, and also one on the back. And this is a battery stock, and that it has a aftermarket switch, and it has upgraded wiring, and it has an aftermarket cage, and it has aftermarket wheels and motors. And good heavens, this thing's been overhauled entirely. And so I was just like, I didn't expect that. I thought it was just an Evader with the Blaster Core on it, but it's a whole dang blaster, all set and ready to go, and it all lights up when it's got batteries plugged into it and everything. So that turned into a real good deal. So thank you very much, Jonathan, for helping me, not only get another Blaster Core, but also an Evader which I was looking at, and a very nice one. So I'm not going to cut this one up. I'd actually wanted to buy one for cutting up, but I'm not going to cut this one up. So that was a kind of a cool bonus. See if I can, yeah. I was out wandering around at the end of the event, and I came back to my table, and this Demolisher was sitting on top of my stuff. And I asked Zambona, "Hey, where did this Demolisher come from?" And he said, "Somebody just dropped it off, and I have no room for it, and I don't want it. So there it is." So I have a Demolisher now. So whoever brought me the Demolisher, or brought Zambona the Demolisher anyway, and dropped it off, reach out to me so I can say thank you personally, because I've actually been looking for one of these because I want to cut it up and have a certain modification in mind. So thank you very much. I've been actually looking for one of these locally. So yeah, come say hi, and I'll give you like an internet high five or something cool like that. This is a Blaster Parts holster that I got from Containment Crew. I've actually been trying to get one, but Luke, Out of Darts, has been sold out for a while, because I was making an order from him anyway, but he's been sold out the last little bit. So I figured while I was here, I might as well just pick one up. And so I have it fitted for a hammer shot, because that's the only pistol I really had around. Really dang impressed with this thing so far. I haven't had a chance to like use it, but just like playing with it like around the hotel and just fitting it on stuff. That's really nice. I'm really, I think I'm going to try to fit it for the Chronos and see how that works for the Arena, because that way it's something that's a little, the cloth is a little less likely to get beat up hustling around the Arena. So yeah, Blaster Parts drop leg holster setup. So very excited to play with that some more. And this was actually just a backup hammer shot in case one of the 3D printed parts goofed up on me or something. So these are some more. Okay, these are more rules. Okay, this is territories. Okay, this is a two-sided colored thing. This is more of Zambona's home-built gameplay stuff. This little thing. I can't remember what it's called. I'm really sorry. These are more instructions. Yeah, capture the flag instructions, and capture the flag thing, and King of the Hill. Okay, so get those guys. This is a stock, a collapsing buffer tube stock by Devil's Nerf Works. This is similar to the one I actually bought last year. I bought his Masada. This is part of his Masada kit overall, but this is just the stock portion. Really impressive. Just a really good-looking stock. I mean, it's good and solid. This is, I believe, entirely his own creation, his own design. But just a very attractive stock, very handsome stock. So I'll probably, actually, because I haven't even had time to investigate, but. Not a color match, but I guess a guy could work with that. Maybe build a panel here or something. But anyway, or just stick it on a strife. But yeah, just a really good Devil's Nerf Works. Gosh darn it, I've got his gear that I used this year, the mag holders and stuff. Such good stuff. I still need to do a video on them because I've been meaning to. I just haven't because I just have not been able to. Just have not had the time and everything else. He does such dang good stuff. Just good design work, good print quality, just really, really good stuff. So, I mean, I'll put a link and stuff to his page store where you can buy his stuff. Anyway, it's really good. But, yeah, that's just a good piece. I couldn't pass that up. This is the muzzle piece for Devil's Hand that just slips over the Serenity barrel. So, now it's complete. Got this battle belt guy, just a Molly belt, basically. Also from Containment Crew. I was just right next door, and so I couldn't help spending money there. I just kept wandering over and giving them money and buying things from them. So, figured I just wanted to play with it. I've never used one of these types. It's got the little hooks for suspenders, too, and so I just trying different loadout ideas, or at the very least have something for loaning out for other deals and stuff. So, yeah. So that guy. Darts. This is actually a blaster that I haven't featured yet because I needed to do the video on it. And the video is recorded. I just need to put it together. This is a Strife, a kit-based Strife that I built for my wife. It is the V6 Select Strife from that review video. And in the past I've let her use that Strife just because it's a simple single trigger operation. It's a little easier for her to use. But I wanted to make something a little fancier, so I actually did some body work. I blended in the front end of this this 3D printed kit and did, sanded everything down super nice. Blended in these Devil's Nerf Works motor and flywheel covers, and they look just beautiful. And there's little lightweight stock, custom handle scales. Had the paint laid on by Valor. It's just nice pearl, mint, and white that are her colors, and matches a cruiser bicycle that I bought for her birthday a couple years ago. And so, yeah, just I believe it's Krakens in a 42.5mm cage, worker cage. But yeah, I just brought it to kind of show off a little bit, and it has a matching little pistol that's just a Fire Strike that has the logos shaved off and a few very minor treatments, custom handle scales that match, decal work from Foam Blast that matches the kind of tropical flower detail on the magwell on this guy. Look forward to a video in the future covering that a little bit better. And it has this nice little light replacement where the dopey red light was. But it's brassed. I don't remember what the heck spring is in it. It's a pretty stout spring. Brassed with the air restrictor because I left the air restrictor in because I was only getting like 2 FPS better on average without the air restrictor, so I thought I might as well keep it in there, sacrifice that tiny bit, and have better longevity. But it's a pretty stout little dude. It's a pretty it's got a bit of a pop. So that's a nice little matched pair. Got my battery charger. This is a... what is this? This is a Longshot metal bolt sled, worker Longshot metal bolt sled, because I have a Longshot that I was working on, and it just shredded the bolt sled, and so I was kind of up a crick. So got that guy because it was a good deal from Foam Blast, so I picked that up while I was there. So that's another project you'll see probably eventually. This is the General Mayhem, a blaster that I haven't really discussed on the channel at all. There's been some Facebook and Instagram posts, but it is a blaster based off of the General Mayhem 68 Charger from the Roadkill show. I'm not going to go into detail with it here. Wait and look forward to that video in the future. But it was at FoamCon, just kind of showing off to make it look like I actually build stuff and actually finish projects. Okay, and now the fun part. Patches and stickers. Got a Containment Crew patch, because I've got the little tiny guy, but I didn't have one that actually had the Velcro on the back, so I snagged one of those last minute. Got a Lastracore patch, since now I officially am affiliated, well not affiliated, I have their product now and help them out with that a little bit, and so I've got that. Oh, I have a Katana mag that the Tan himself brought by and said, "Do you have one of these?" And I said, "No." He says, "Do you want one?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And so he gave me one. And it's just a little stubby guy. It's kind of cute. Yeah, just a little, one of the Catan, T-H-A-N, Catan. Yeah, one of his little slip fit, it's a toolless assembly, printable little katana thing. Katana cape compatible little magazine. Foam Blast keychain carabiner thing. Got the Silver Fox Industries extended hammer for the Sweet Revenge, which I finally got a Sweet Revenge, and I was hoping to get 2, but he only had 1. So that's going to have to be good enough for me for now. So looking forward to getting that and playing with those a little bit more. Got a Raven Extended Magazine release that I've been looking for from Containment Crew for a while, but just didn't want to justify the shipping, and it was just never like, I didn't really need anything else at the time, so for a couple of bucks, snagged one of those while I was at it. Got one of these kind of cool colored muzzle pieces from Clowny. I can't remember the dude's name that he's selling them for, but he was had a box of them, so I picked this kind of, birdcage style, whatever they call it. Picked that guy out for I don't know what, but I thought they were pretty neat, and so I threw money at Clowny. It's actually Rapid Strike extended worker thumb screw kit for the Rapid Strike, since I had the General Mayhem right there. I got a Galaxy Sock Bomb from Zambona, my table mate, booth mate, whatever you want to call it. It's a Galaxy sock and Galaxy duct tape all at the same time, so I had one sock bomb for backup for during End War. I didn't last long enough to use it. Have a Detroit Dart Talk sticker, which I can fit on the chronograph. In fact, I'm going to stick it right there. Right there, the chronograph's behind the camera. Got lots of stickers so I could, get all caught up on my chronograph. I got some real estate left. Got some 2019 Statesboro End War Cyclones, because I still haven't done anything with my 2018, so now it's a collection. Armod 74 patch. Now I need to extend my patch wall, my patch collection thing. I need a little bit more room to stick this stuff in there. Got an Out of Darts patch. Devil's Nerf Works patch. Oh! Worker T-handle for a Kronos. I want to play with one of those. I've been liking my Grihas grips, but I just figured, I just wanted to see what they're all about. I like the idea for some builds, and so I'm probably going to add that to mine, just because my wrists get goofy when I strain them too much on the just the action of priming the blaster. I figured the T-handle might relieve some of that stress. Detroit Dart Talk patch, which I can also add to my patch wall. Got a End War patch from last year, because I never got one, and it bummed me out a whole lot, so I'm glad I was able to snag one for this year, so now I'm caught up. And of course, one from this year. So now I've actually got the two patches from the events that I've been to, plus the kind of honorary End War that I got from Michelle from the first End War, even though I wasn't there. Got a Clowny card, as well as, of course, the Clowny patch, because Clowny's watching you. Silver Fox Industries patch, ammo counter patch, and sticker. Containment Crew goodies out of the bag, keychain and wrist thing. Do people still wear the wrist things? Got a Naptown Nerf patch. And an angry little worker dart patch. I got this cool sticker from Silver Fox Industries when I bought the Hammershot Sweet Revenge hammer set. I thought it was just kind of a gimmicky little signed thing, but he's actually giving them away, and so he's kind of bummed out that nobody was taking them. I didn't know they were available. But it says, "Warning, you have entered a blaster modification zone. Unmodified blasters within reach of specialists may become modified without notice," which is just kind of a clever little warning thing. So I'll stick it up somewhere, just kind of pin it up, I'm not sure. But I thought it was very clever. Got a Containment Crew, Thomas and Charles riding a dart, majestically sticker. Armod 74 sticker, which because I don't think I have one for the chronograph. Got a cool Out of Darts sticker. It's got like the different kind of ammo types and stuff, which is really cool. It's just a really nice looking sticker, kind of fun. I got a Women of Nerf sticker. I got a couple Beret Silhouette stickers. Got a vinyl Bobololo Fancy sticker. And Scruffy Nerf Hoarder. He gave me this business card. Talked to him for a little bit. It's nice to finally see him. Saw a lot of his stuff over the several years, and so it was finally cool to put a name to a face. And I guess that's basically it. I guess so. That's at least all of the items from the event. But it's really cool. Or it was such a, consider this, if that's all you care about and you don't care about my synopsis of the event, then you can kind of cut things off here. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. It's already long. I'll try to do some editing between pulling stuff out of the suitcase and all that, try to streamline that for those of you who are interested, or more so in kind of the synopsis of the event itself. I flew in to Atlanta Thursday afternoon. Yeah. And was actually able to be picked up by Home Lee, who was kind enough to go slightly out of his way on his way over and pick me up. And I'm really sorry that when I tried to open the back hatch on your car, that your little Debbies fell out, and I hope they didn't get bruised or anything like that. And I'm really glad that the salsa didn't fall out, because I was really nervous as soon as I saw that drop. So, anyway, sorry about that, and thank you again for driving me out to the event. I saw you briefly at FoamCon, but I didn't see you for the rest of the event. I don't know if you didn't stick around or what, but I hope you had a good time, and thank you very much again for getting me out there. I was kind of a bit tense there for a minute. Got in at about 10:30. Landed and was able to kind of get settled and everything. I was staying at Eagle's Nest, as well as most everybody. It was kind of the host hotel or whatever. A lot of people were staying there anyway, which was a really cool setup. It was really cool to walk into the hallway and there's so-and-so just down the hall or whatever. It was actually kind of cool to wake up in the morning and step out and run into one of those and hey, good morning, and then saw Bobololo several times, saw Hawkeye moving around, and just different. Milan came through and had breakfast. Ryan, Silver Fox Industries, and his wife was there. It's just really cool to get up in the morning, be sitting there making your pancake, which they had a pancake machine. I'd never seen anything like it. That was probably the most excitement I had all morning, was getting up and you push a button, and I got a video of it, so I'll post that like right here. But you push a button and it goes and puts a pile of batter there, and then it has like 2 rolling conveyors that heat it up and then just spits a pancake out at the end. It's just a beautiful thing. It's great to live in America where you have a pancake machine in a hotel. It's great. Anyway, it was just really cool, and I do have to say, I was nervous about having a hotel filled with very enthusiastic Nerfers. There was we were very well behaved. I do have to pat the community on the back for being very well behaved. I expected there to be more darts in the hall, more flywheel noises at weird hours in the morning, more running from each other in the halls and stuff like that. Everybody's very well behaved. We didn't go to bed on time. I was very much one of those as well. But good job, guys. I was really nervous that we would be a little ill-behaved, and that the hotel would be kind of like, hey, we really don't want you to come back kind of thing, or have a bad reputation as far as community in general, to the point where hopefully everybody was as well behaved as I think we were, that if we try to do this in the future and say, hey, we'd like to rent out this entire room and we're a bunch of happy-go-lucky Nerfing kids, they're not, and they're like, we don't know about you kids, you might run amok all over the place. We can say, hey, we stayed and did this thing at this other place, and we were well behaved. They liked us. Hopefully that's how it went, and we can use that, and we can stay well behaved in the future, so that we're able to have a better reputation. I don't know if we don't have one, but we can maintain a good reputation as a community for our hosts. So, good job, guys. Unless you're a jerk, then this is the wagging finger. So yeah, hopefully we were all well behaved and the hotel liked us. So that would help us out for future events like this. It was really cool. FoamCon was amazing. FoamCon was just dang amazing. It was smaller. It felt a lot smaller than last year, which was really a bummer. It's definitely more cramped and hot. Georgia was hot. Really hot. And I didn't like the heat or the air or anything. The only thing I liked about Georgia was the fact that we're all together. Anyway, the room was small and kind of cramped. There wasn't as much space to move around. I didn't care for the venue and stuff. It's kind of a bummer. But the people made it. Do you need to go outside? Is that what this is all about? Do you need to go outside? Go take care of business or something, okay? Good boy. Go lay down. Whiny face. I'm not coming out yet. I've got to finish talking to everybody. Are you going to come back in? You want to come back in? Okay, then can you just behave for a little bit then? We'll go out in a minute. We got to get done talking, okay? FoamCon, really cool. Saw so many cool things. So many cool blasters. I wish I had the forethought to pull people aside and record things then. There's a lot of blasters that came through and people were like, hey, look at my cool thing. And I'm like, wow, that's a cool thing. But I was hoping to catch them later on, like during the end war itself or during the 5v5 competitive stuff, to pull people aside and be like, hey, talk about this blaster and stuff like that. Just so many cool things. I took some pictures, didn't take enough, of course. So I'm hoping that I can catch some stuff in some other people's footage and things like that, or at least be able to recognize blasters that I saw in when they get posted elsewhere. Because there's a lot of cool stuff. We got so dang much talent in this hobby, you know what? But, no, there was, I can't even think of anything right now, right offhand. There's a guy that had Manta Raid everything. He had Manta Raid, Cyclone Shock, Artemis, and Hades. To where you'd have him, like, modified or integrated grip to grip. And so you're basically triggering with your pinky side and your trigger finger, and then you're priming both, and so you have, like, a blaster top and bottom. Really cool. Really well done. It was just really cool to see somebody who's just so dang dedicated to that style, and they had a thing, and it was just really cool. Several Siamese blasters, just a lot of creative stuff going through, just so much cool stuff. But my favorite part was meeting people that came to my booth who were there for whether to see the stuff that I built firsthand, the people who came to ask questions. I saw a lot of guys coming with their dads, younger guys and stuff like that, coming with their dad or whatever. It was really cool because, I mean, I've always had a really great relationship with my dad, so it's cool to see other guys who, have interested, their father's interested in what they're doing. I had a couple dads that were like, okay, now tell me about this. What exactly are you doing here, and why, and how is this done, and stuff like that. Just a really, really cool experience. And I will admit right away, as I've admitted before, I'm horrible with names. I shook so many hands, and I was introduced to so many people. I can't remember your names. I'm really sorry. It's just between the stress and anxieties and the fact that I'm bad at remembering names anyway, it was awesome to meet you. I remember faces, but there's so many times where I was like, there's that guy. He came to talk to me. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it was just so cool to stop knocking things over, please. Just can you behave for a minute? Yes, you. Just so cool. We have, it's such an amazing community, and I say it so often that there's something special. And I was actually able to talk to Adrian Ward after the events. I actually got to talk to him for a little bit about just how cool this community is and just how special it is. There's nothing like it. There's no organization that I've ever been affiliated with that was quite like what we have here. And I hope above all hope, that we can hold on to that. And that was one concern that I talked to him about actually as well, was we have something special. I don't know what it is, so how do we protect it? I want to see further growth. I want to continue to spread the weird love that is Nerf. But I don't want it to get too big that it gets corrupted. I don't know. It's just such a weird thing. Like I said, I don't know what the magic is or where the magic resides. It's not in the Nerf product. It's not in. It's just I can't identify what it is. There's something special. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to protect to maintain what the community is and what makes it so dang special. But it's just one thing that came to mind to me when I was talking to people and shaking hands and just seeing everything. and I've talked about it with the YouTube celebrity thing that I don't care for anyway. But as a recognizable face in the community, I'll call myself that. I'm visible. You know, Bobo, Drac, X, Wacom. You know, all these people you see on YouTube. If it's not YouTube, it's the people who may be an active moderator or often or common contributor to Instagram or Facebook or any of the groups there, the Nerf subreddit or something like that. You have all these recognizable names that seem to kind of mold the hobby. They kind of lead it in different directions and stuff. And I was reminded again with some of the people that I talked to that there is, and the name came to me, the faceless community. We have, you know, if you Google Nerf modding or Nerf community or anything, you try to research us, and you will see the big names. You'll see the notable people. You'll see the YouTube people, stuff like that. But that's not the community. We have a faceless community full of people that actually drive the community, that actually are the backbone of the community. It's just the kid who goes to the store and says, hey, this is kind of, picks up a Strife or whatever, and says, boy, this thing sure takes a long time to spin up, and the darts don't go very far, and finds out about us and what we do online, and starts to do that, gets that cool creative fire that the community and the hobby brings, and gets into it, becomes an active community nerfer, an actual nerfer, not just a person who plays with Nerf guns. Them, people who are running and organizing local groups, people who are running the HVCs and events and stuff like that, the people behind the scenes, just the generic people who just show up to events, who just love Nerf for Nerf. And again, I'm using Nerf as a common noun, or however, like not Nerf proper, but like just nerfing and nerfing. The majority of the community is just guys, just people. And so it's important for those of us in higher or more recognizable positions, and I always sound so like pretentious saying that, but we are not the community. We may think we represent some of the community, and there's a lot to that. I think we have a responsibility to do what we can to shine a good light on the community and to be a good example of the community. But I am not the Nerf community. I don't represent. Even right now, I am not speaking as the community. I'm speaking as a guy who loves the community, and so I'm still speaking as an individual. So I'm by no means saying that this is how everybody should feel or anything like that. This is just me saying, I'm just sharing my thoughts as a member of the community. I'm just a guy. Like I've said before, I'm just a guy. I just do things that makes people happy, and that's cool. It makes me happy, and in doing what makes me happy makes others happy, and that's the beautiful thing about our community. But we can't forget who the community really is. And the community, the Nerf community, is everybody. It's the people who, for like the first 2 years I was involved in the hobby, I didn't post anything anywhere. I was just some guy just kind of doing stuff. And I still felt like part of the community. I wasn't contributing directly. I was still considered myself a nerfer. But and I don't feel that my relation to the community is any different. I am more active. I am trying to organize events locally. I am connected with many businesses and organizations as well, globally, as far as just being a Nerf personality, I guess. And that still feels just off. But I am no more important to the community than just some kid playing in his backyard with his friends. That is still the Nerf community. That is the Nerf community. It's just everybody. And I think it's really important for us to not get tied up with the celebrity thing or trying to be famous. I mean, if you're building cool stuff and people are noticing, that's awesome. I love it when people share what they do. People who build great things should be recognized. Those ideas should be shared. But don't lose sight of the fact that you should be doing it because you want to, because it brings you happiness. I do Nerf because it makes me happy, but I love the community almost more than I love the hobby. Because it's special, because of the people in it. There's so many amazing people in our community. And don't lose track of that. I mean, there's so many people who build cool things, but they're just good people. Some of the best people I know are people in this community. Um, I am proud to align myself with this community. I am proud to be a part of this community. I'm proud to be active in this community. I am proud to join with others in this community. I stand side by side with the people of this community. I want to be able to always stand with this community. I'm not, and I've said it before, I'm not a social guy, but I will be there for Nerf people. And I've said it before, if there's ever anybody traveling around and they come through the Boise area, the Treasure Valley area, swing by, say hi. I mean, I'm there for Nerfers. It's except jerks. I'll draw the line at jerks. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're a jerk, don't come around. But everybody else. But it's I've never been the type of person to need community involvement or to feel like a part of something else. This community made me want to be a part of it. And it's continued to keep me a part of this. Like I said, some of the best people I know are Nerf people. And I don't know why. I don't know if Nerf attracts good people or if Nerf makes people good. At the same time, I don't know, because we're weird. We're all weird. Everyone in this community is weird. I do not know a single soul in this community that I can point to and say 100% straight-faced, that person is normal. I'm not normal. I'm weird. We got so many weird people. I don't know if Nerf attracts weird or if Nerf makes weird. But, the only person I can think of is, Luke, Darts. He's probably the normalest among us. He's not normal. He's weird. Sorry, man. It's true. And I'll tell you to your face. You're kind of weird. You're kind of a weird dude, too. But it's okay because that's why we love you. Because you're one of us. You're still, the presentable. You're probably the best thing we've got to put forth and be like, see, if we've got normal people, but secretly you're weird. And, I have to interject on the subject of weird people. Bobo Lolo, I'm sorry. No hard feelings. I have always respected you as a creator. You were an early inspiration of mine when I got into the hobby. I thought, what a weird guy, but he sure makes cool stuff, and I've always appreciated that. And I never want you to think that I don't like you, but I'll still give you the business. That aside, we got weird people in our hobby, but no, like I said, the level of generosity in this hobby is just mind-boggling. The reason I was able to make it to Andwar was due to the generosity of another community member who had no reason to. I had nothing personal to offer him. It wasn't like a business transaction or anything. It was a matter of, he said, "Aren't you able to go to Andwar?" And I said, "No, we can't swing it." And he says, "Okay, when do you want your flight to arrive?" I see that constantly, and I've said it before. This is the most generous giving from the heart community that I've ever been a part of as well. People just give each other stuff to help each other out. People are willing to bend over backwards for each other. It's weird. I've never been a part of anything like this, but the heart of this community, the actual the giving heart of this community is just transcends understanding. And I don't understand. I don't see. There's no catalyst on what makes it happen. I think that's just that magic that I talked about a long time ago when I was like, Nerf is magical, and it's great. FoamCon was just an amazing experience. I met so many amazing people, new people, and friends that I love. I am, like I said, I'm proud to be a part of this community. But I feel like I'm getting off track. I don't know if I'll leave that in there. I might edit some of that because that was just discussing FoamCon. But so many people, anyway, just so darn many people that I met that just, like I said, my heart, I am not a social guy. My anxiety goes through the roof in groups like that, especially in tight quarters like that. But my heart was full. This was, like, emotionally, my heart was full. I was just, there was nothing but good vibes all over at FoamCon and War and stuff. Just good stuff. And War itself after FoamCon. I didn't do very good. Showed up late. I was with Chris, Dr. Chris, and Alice Coat Duck, and we showed up a little bit late. Just kind of tagged onto the back of a group of humans, and we're marching along. And Chris says something along the lines of, because the rest of the group was kind of coming around us a little bit, we were kind of drifting towards the back, and he said something along the lines of, well, at least the game barely started, so we don't have to worry about zombies yet. A moderator walked by, says, zombie on your 6. We turn around, and he grabs us both right as Alice whips around and tags him. Close enough to call that she swears still that she tagged him before he tagged us. He was too close for me to tell, and at that minute it was like, do I throw a fit right now, or try to call it and argue it, or what? So anyway, we dropped off our gear, walked around a little bit trying to find somebody somewhere because there's no zombies to follow apparently, and everybody else was gone. So we just kind of walked around a little bit and ended up finding people just in time for the dinner time break. And after that, it was kind of like, do we really want to bother? I don't know. So we just ended up kind of browsing around and hanging out and stuff like that. But later, I was told by a event organizer that it sounded like it was kind of a bogus call and to put my gear back on and go try it again. And that was mission 3 or 4. I think that was mission 4. And I was like, you know what the heck? I still got my stuff ready to go, loaded up again, and that's when things got really crazy. And it was one of those where it's like, okay, go. You go outside and you're pretty much dead. And so there's panic and running and stuff like that. I saw more action this time. I didn't last much longer. It was probably about 10-15 minutes again, but I got caught in a bad situation. There's some bad calls being made, some pretty good pushes against us, and I actually got some shots off this time, emptied most of a magazine, and went to turn around, and I was tagged by none other than Matty the Nerf guy. So that made him happy, and so I was kind of out again and realized that maybe HVZ isn't my thing, which I'm okay with. I'm more of a PvP guy, but what are you going to do? I wasn't here for End War, I was here for FoamCon, I was here for the community. So, did I have a great track record for performance in HVZ? No. I wore a bunch of heavy gear, and I got tagged out immediately. So, there it is. Am I proud about it? It is what it is. I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. But I still say, big part of this community is probably the best thing I've ever done. And it's amazing that we have these events to get together, because we all talk and hang out online in the Facebook groups and the Reddit and Discords, things like that. But to get Nerfers in person under one roof is a special thing, and it's something that I want to make sure we don't take for granted. It'd be great to have more events, but the more events we have, the fewer everybody's able to go to, and so the less unified we become. I'm talking like international, invitational type big events. So I'm by no means saying that we need to have less or anything like that. I'm just kind of talking out loud here, or talking out loud, thinking out loud. But just as much as I want to do more gigantic events, I don't think I can afford to travel to any more than 1, maybe 2 a year. And at this point, with End War next year being in Pennsylvania, there's a good possibility that I won't be able to go, because that's going to be more expensive, and I want to not have to rely on charity to get me there, because I don't think that's fair for anybody. And it depends on the new work schedule. I have not announced it yet, but I have a new job, and so I have some more money coming in, and I have a fraction of the free time I used to have, which I don't know what that means for the projects I have going right now. But as of right now, from like last week when I asked about it, I will not be able to go to Ragnarok. I might be able to convince the other senior-most employee, who currently has that weekend off, to see if he wants to move it by chance. If I can get him to move his vacation, then I should be able to get it off and be able to go to Ragnarok. But at this point, it looks like it's not going to happen, which bums me out a lot because I prefer the PvP aspects of Ragnarok. Can you wait, please? But there again, it's a community event that I want to be able to get to, but it might just not happen this year. So we'll see what happens. We don't know what the future holds. But I guess in wrapping up, it was a great event. Kudos to the people that put it together. Any time we can get the community together is a good reason. It doesn't have to be HVZ. It doesn't have to be whatever. I would like to see more convention formats of like panels. It'd be great to see like a 2-day FoamCon or something like that, where you could be could be a little more mellow, a little more relaxed, get people through a little easier, more space, or like I said, do some panels and more community involvement, to where if you are running a booth, you're not trapped behind the booth all day. You have a chance to mingle a little bit more and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. But thank you very much for those of you. I don't know how the heck long this video is at this point. Like I said, I'll try to cut it back a little bit, but I really appreciate everyone who came to see me at the FoamCon booth, and those of you who came up and said hey just while we were out and about, during Endwar itself, or in the hall at the hotel or whatever. It's always great to meet the people that you know online, whether it's friends in the hobby or just even new people that you're just being introduced to. It's always great, and I hope that we can continue to have good events like this and continue to bring the community together. So thank you very much, those of you who stuck all the way through. If you have any questions about any of the products or whatever that I bought, or questions about things in general, or anything like that, leave them in the comments or contact me through my Facebook or Instagram or whatever if you have like a personal question or something like that. But yeah, and I was able to get a lot of recording done videos right before I left, so I'm going to try to edit those out and maybe get a little more content out. I'm going to try to do better about that, maybe try some live streams. I actually had one guy say, hey, I miss your live streams. Who knew? So maybe I'll try to do some more of those in the future as well. But community, keep doing what you're doing, as long as it's good. You guys are amazing. I love y'all. Have a great day wherever you are, or whatever, and wishing blue skies and green lights to you and yours, and may all your troubles be teeny weeny ones. Now do you want to go outside and play? Come on, let's go outside. Come on. There you go. Let's go. All right.